In these videos, we're going to start looking at styling our website. We're going to learn how to use a CSS sheet, Cascading Style Sheet. That's what CSS stands for. And our Cascading Style Sheet is going to hold the styles that we apply to our web page or pages. We can do multiple pages with one sheet, which is one of the big benefits of it. So let's start by creating a style sheet for the web page we've been working on. So over here, I am going to right click and I'm going to say new file, and you can name your style sheet whatever you would like. Again, use lowercase letters, don't use spaces. You can use underscores if you need to, but I'm just going to call this one my style. mystyle.css. And there it is, it's open. Notice it's untracked, so when we're doing our adds and commits, we'll need to add that before we commit and push it. But right now we're not worried about that. So what is a style rule? Basically, you have three elements to a style rule. You have a selector, followed by curly braces, and then you have a list of properties, separated with colons. So usually we put the colon right here, and then we put a value. And we can put as many properties and value pairs as we want. For each selector. So what's a selector? Well, a selector is any element that we have on our web page. So let's take a look. H1 is one of our elements on our web page. So we can say, hey, for H1s, I want to apply a style. So my selector in this case would be H1. Okay. And then I can give it some styles by selecting some certain properties of that selector. So properties of my H1, and I can set them to a certain value. So one of the things I could do, for example, is use the color property. And notice it gives me a bunch of choices here. We can also use hexadecimal color codes if we want more, but there's a lot of built-in ones. Let's make my H1 heading. I'm going to go with dark slate blue. And I am also going to set its text align property. Text align. And I'm going to set that to center. Now I'm getting errors because I need to end these with semicolons. So property and values, property and values. Sounds a lot like some other things we've done in programming before, where we have key value pairs, right? This is the property, this is the value, key value. Easy way to think of that. And we can list as many of these properties and value pairs as we want for H1s as we learn what some of them are. So these are two of them, color and text align. Now I'm going to save this. And if I go to my web page and refresh it, I still don't see it. That's because my web page doesn't know about my style sheet. My web page needs to know about the style sheet. And to do that, we have to come to our web page, and in the head section, we have to tell about any style sheets we're going to use. So we have to link our web page to the style sheet. And the way we do that is with a link tag. So I put the tag link. And then there's some things that I have to include here. I have to tell the relationship. What is this link going to be used for? Well, this link is going to be a style sheet. So we're describing the relationship between the thing we're linking to and this page. So this, we're basically saying, hey, this is a style sheet for this page. So you have to have that. And you also have to tell where the file is. So this is very much like using an anchor tag to make a link. We'll see that in there as well. So hypertext reference. Hey, what file are you linking to? And since this is in the same directory, I created it in the same directory with my index page. All I have to do is put the name of the file here, and I called it mystyle.css. And really, this is enough anymore. But very often, you'll also see a type command, a type option, a command. And we can put in here text/CSS that just basically tells it what kind of file it's reading. However, this is not necessary. You don't have to do that. So that's it. This is the link that says, hey, I have a style sheet, and here's the name of that style sheet. So I'm going to take this out because we don't have to use it, and I'm going to try and keep it simple. But you'll see that a lot, especially if you use Emmet. So let me do, I think Emmet will do this automatically. Maybe not. If I type link, it gives me a lot of different things I can link, and one of them is a CSS sheet. Oh, it does not use the type. So it tells me to use this and then give it a name, and we can overwrite that name. We already did it by hand. So there we go. We're going to save that. So now our style sheet is linked to our HTML file, and they're both saved. So if I come over here, I should be able to refresh it, and now you can see that the color on the H1 element of my web page is dark slate blue. Not very dark if you ask me. And the text is aligned to center. Hey, I want to caution you too about text aligned centered. Don't center everything on your web page. It's a very, very bad style choice. It looks awful. It makes things hard to read. Centering one main heading is okay. Just use centering sparingly. Don't center everything. Bad design choice. I don't really like that color. Notice what our browser here lets us do. It will automatically generate RGB colors for us to use codes here if we want to. I can just go over here and do this. And it generated a code using RGB. I want a little, this is red. I want 17 for the value of red, 10 for the value of green, 57 for the value of blue. It mixes the three colors together to make that. Very handy that our editor does that for us. And that's a little bit darker. I like that. That's a very dark blue. All right, so that's basically all we do. Create a text file, and then we can list different selectors and the styles we want to apply to them. So let's do one more. Let's do our H3s, because we go over here and look, we have H3s, and we have multiple H3s on this page. I'm going to say for my H3s, I want their color to be a bright blue. And I don't want to center them. I don't want to over center them. So I'll just save that. Save it, come over here and refresh. And now my H3s have a blue color applied to them. All H3s. All right, that's it for this video. We'll pick up with some more styles in our next video.